Hey everybody, Tim here for today's episode of Loki, Season 1, Episode 1, the new Disney Plus series with Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. So it took me a few days to post this. I know it came out Wednesday. I had originally actually done a full, 45-minute live reaction video for the entire episode because I was so excited. I've been so ready for this series. And then I posted it and then went to bed, and then I woke up with a copyright strike, and basically Disney took it down for me. So I was so angry, and I was like, I need some time. So I am now getting to it. So now you guys get the long, drawn out, just me talking. So it's going to be a lot more boring, a lot more sober, and I am wearing more clothes. I was not wearing as many during the live reaction. So anyway, so for this, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. A little slower than I had anticipated. Just my opinion. Like, I'm sure everybody's like, what are you talking about? Like, it did a good job of laying the groundwork. So I'm really curious to see where it goes from here. I liked a lot of the opening scenes, like from the 2012, like the attack on New York, stuff like that, where I'm curious, if all of that was refilmed, or I mean, not all of it, obviously, but the Captain America scene where he's mimicking Captain America, which we've seen him do before in the second Thor movie. I'm really curious. Did they bring Chris Evans in just to film that scene? Because that would be great. And so, a lot of different stuff. So once he finally gets arrested, for one, there's a cat there, and instantly, Captain Marvel has ruined it. I'm like, is that a Flurkin? Is it going to freak out? What's going to happen? We don't see anything, but oh well. Everybody's favorite moment is, of course, naked Loki. It was the best part of the episode. So, I loved the, everything you've ever said scene. And for one, he didn't actually sign everything. Granted, not even every page, but he's like, you need to sign this too. And this too. And he just signs the top one. And I was like, And I don't know why, but I expected Loki to be left-handed, but he wasn't. I don't know. It just would have been that much more. The whole multiversal war is really interesting. I don't know if that's from the comics. I don't know anything about that, but that was really kind of fun. And at first, I wasn't sure, because as it was zooming in, I was like, are those the Watchers? Because we've seen the Watchers before. But no, this is something completely, bigger than that. And I was like, ooh, how big is this going to go? I'm assuming everybody, it's pretty obvious, but I'll talk about it anyways, because I talked about all this during the live thing. The whole, no ticket scene was great. It's so Indiana Jones, where it's no ticket. And, as soon as, the guy is vaporized, and Loki's just like, where's my ticket? I love that. The entire time when they were doing this, I was like, so, are they going to give him a last name? Because he was adopted by Odin, so just like Thor, is it going to be Loki adopted Odin's son? Is it just going to be Loki? And then sure enough, when they're like Loki Laufeyson, and I was like, oh, okay, so they just brought his natural last name. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that. The go arrest the Avengers. Well, no, they did what they were supposed to. And I was like, that's brilliant. And this whole, once you get the time travel in there, it is very, who the fuck knows? That, time, that reset time, what's still going on in that dimension? Because, Loki's gone with the Tesseract, so, what are the, repercussions of that moment? So, I don't know if they're even going to go into it. I am not a big Owen Wilson fan, I'm not going to lie. He was a little bit more reined in, because anytime I think of Owen Wilson, I just think of Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller just doing their comedy. And I don't know if I'm sure he's done serious acting roles. I can't think of any off the top of my head. And so he was a little bit more reined in for this one, but he still had his talky moments, and I was like, oh, that's Owen Wilson right there. I bet that wasn't even scripted. That was just him. So Agent Mobius, and then him talking about dangerous variants, really dangerous. I'm curious if that's a reference to Kang. Now, I've said before, after, this was long before Endgame or anything, and my friends and I would always do sit downs. We'd go see the Marvel movie and we'd sit down and we'd talk about it. And it's usually at Sherry's, because that's what would be open after midnight. And so we had talked about who would be the next big villain. Like, if Marvel was going to keep their pattern going, and like, who's going to be the next big one after Thanos is gone? And I mean, at the time we were like, well, Galactus would be like literally huge, but they didn't have the rights at that time, so we were like, nah. And Kang was on like our top list of like, Kang could really fuck up everything. And now supposedly Kang is in the third Ant-Man movie, so I'm hoping it's more of a setup than anything. But I hope like we get a lot of Kang, because Kang is a huge villain. And then, I mean, now we also have Doctor Doom, stuff like that. So I'm curious to see if we'll get like a Kang reference to kind of set up those moments for Ant-Man 3. Guantanamo, I think. So that'll be interesting. I live in the Portland metropolitan area, so the DB Cooper thing just kind of made me laugh, because I was like, oh, that's like my backyard. So I was like, that's kind of cool. The clips of Thor 2, seeing Frigga get killed was just like soul crushing, but those are the best moments of that movie. So, okay. The escaping's fun. The paperweights was just fantastic. Where he's like, oh yeah, we got tons of these stones everywhere. And I was like, that's great. Of course, we see the Thanos kill scene, which is still, like, the first time I saw that in theaters was just heartbreaking. So I was like, okay. And then, like, the big twist at the end that, like, supposedly they are hunting Loki. So it's like, what Loki are they hunting? Like, what dimension or time stream or whatever the fuck it is he coming from? Like, and you never actually see him. So is it Loki? I don't know that much about specific Loki comics. So I don't know how many different variations of Loki there are. Like, I know he was like a kid for a while or something, and I think there's a female Loki. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see like what all comes up. I'll say it right now, I'm still expecting Black Widow to show up in this show. Just from one of the trailers. I swear to God, every time I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks like her. So we'll see. But overall, I did like the first episode. Going off of like WandaVision, and then I really did not like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, you can watch those videos. I had a tough time with that series. So I'm more cautiously optimistic. I'm not jumping for joy for this series. But I did like it. I am going to have fun with it. Curious what everybody else thinks. Now that I'm no longer angry that Disney like canceled my video, I will be trying to get these done every Wednesday, or I guess Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.